good win for Penn State. Thought they played hard. Very tough-minded group defensively, and inside tonight they were played really forceful. I thought Lamar and Mike really commanded a lot of attention, drew a lot of fouls, unnecessary fouls sometimes at times. But our first-time defense, in the half court, I thought was pretty good for most of the night. If you look at their shooting percentages at home, you would think you'd have a chance to hang in there, but offensively we were bad. And, when you talk to the team after the game, there's not a whole lot to talk about other than, the second half, we just played terrible. And, when you look at the turnovers in the second half, I believe it was 12. When you look at 3 for 26 from our backcourt from the floor, I think it was 1 for 8 from 3, you're going to have a hard time. And we had a real hard time functioning, getting anything generated offensively. And, one game can't lead to another, but I felt like tonight's game we played pretty hard for the most part. We got stops, could get nothing in transition. And over the course of the game, their half-court defense sort of took away things and made us make some plays. And we had a really hard time scoring the ball from the perimeter tonight, which hadn't been the case here in the last 2 or 3 games.
I think you've said in the past that this team's going to go as far as the backcourt. You talked about the shooting percentage. What was different in this game in terms of the way they were playing compared to previous games where they've had success?
Just off the top of my head, I think Penn State does a really good job with their pressure defense. I think in a lot of their switches they take away a lot of stuff that you normally get. They're a very good defensive team on the season. But we had some good looks that needed to go down. I mean, you have to make some shots. You make some shots on a couple games ago, it looks a lot better. At the end of the day, we have to be able to make a few shots. Didn't have it, but it wasn't one guy tonight. We couldn't get anything going. And we've got to be a little bit stronger with the ball too. Just turned it over 6 times in the first half, and I don't know how many points came off of just steals. In the second half, the turnovers just mounted, and we could never just get a grip because I thought for the most part there for a long time, the game was in a reasonable, manageable deal there, 5, 6, 4, whatever. But the turnovers, the inability to score the ball at some point in time was going to cave us in, and it did.
This is the second straight game you guys have only attempted 10 free throws, and you had 8 in the first half. I mean, what do you think has been the biggest contributing factor to kind of not getting to the line you guys have been used to all season?
I have no idea. We're the number 1 team in the league in getting to the foul line. We're 3rd in America in free throw rate. We generate as many points from the free throw line as any team in college basketball. I have no idea why we're not getting to the line.
Coach, you mentioned inside-out passing during the wins here recently. The early fouls, did that kind of contribute to kind of not being able to get any kind of flow going as far as inside-out passing goes?
I mean, I didn't think our big guys did a real good job of, first half much better than second half. They played us pretty much one-on-one inside. Let us score if you can. I didn't think they gave us a lot of looks, but we got some inside out. But the ball didn't move tonight. They made it difficult on us to move it. We didn't get good post catches, and when we did, we had to score it. And we missed way too many easy ones around the basket.
Nights like this, do you feel like you just don't have enough levers to pull at guard? I mean, just having 4 true guards, if they're not playing well, makes it more difficult than maybe teams you would like to have.
Self-explanatory. I mean, your players have to play well for you to have a chance, and Armand and Devontae, Al, and Rob have a good rhythm. Those 4 guys can play. And we just didn't get enough production, tonight, from not just one, but anybody. We missed some easy ones. I thought Rob had some really good drives in the game. He didn't put a couple drives down, and, we probably had some good looks. But we also had some turnovers. Our backcourt's been doing a really good job the last few games and not turning it over. And I thought tonight we just had way too many, especially in the second half. The second half is where we needed our offense to kind of hang in there and keep hanging in there because our defense was doing okay there for a while. For the most part, defensively, we hung in there. I mean, they shot 40% from the floor in the second half. And, we just didn't get much on the break either. That's another thing. Our break has been good to us. I thought Penn State either did a really good job or we made some poor decisions in not being able to get the ball ahead and get it inside as we were accustomed to doing. But we didn't get much off our break tonight.
Archie, you've talked about kind of the communication aspect of the team, especially after you guys' first road loss in the Big Ten at Wisconsin. Do you feel like the connectedness is still kind of there when things get difficult in the second half of games? And if so,
we're talking about it. I mean, we have to be smarter. We have to continue to talk and continue to be tougher defensively. But when your offense lets you down like it did tonight, it's tough. I mean, it's going to be hard on the road as it is, but you can't defend and shut a team out for 40 minutes. I mean, you just can't do it. Eventually what happened tonight was our defense caved in at the foul line. We fouled them way too much unnecessarily, and it started to get away from us with some turnovers. But, you know, early in the first 4 minutes of the second half, in that first 4-minute segment of the second half after timeout, I think we had 3 straight turnovers. 3 turnovers right out of halftime really set the tone. It sort of hurt us, but we didn't play well. And, you know, that's all me. You know, we didn't play well tonight, and we're going to have to play a lot better moving forward.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Thank you.